Just call that the artful noodle there. Michael was just noodling around and we go, hey, there's your beginning.
Or raindrops in November.
Raindrops in November, yes. Well, welcome to November and the raindrops. And thank you all for joining us this morning out there for Jubilee Circle. We are back to no audience, but I don't blame anybody because, you know, it's kind of what kind of day you're having out there. It's going to be beautiful later, but I understand. Nobody wants to get up on a rainy Sunday morning. So welcome to everyone who is joining us online here at Jubilee Circle this morning. We are continuing our Via Negativa theme of I Make My Own Sunshine, and this quarter we've been exploring all the ways that we can keep the light of the divine shining within even as we approach this season of darkness. Remember now, since the time has changed, at 5:30 this evening, you're all going to be very disoriented because it's going to be very dark at 5:30, and you're going to want to go to bed at 6, which is fine. Do what you need to do, folks. Do what you need to take care of you. That's Keith's normal bedtime anyway. So that's why Keith always looks so well rested. He's always in bed. It was that playwright William Shakespeare who wrote this little-known play. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. It was called Henry V. And he wrote, "When lenity and cruelty play for a kingdom, the gentle gamester is the soonest winner." Now, for those of you like me who had to look up the word lenity, nobody did that, right? You're Googling it right now. I know you. That word lenity, it means kindness or gentleness. So when kindness and gentleness, lenity, and cruelty play for a kingdom, the gentle game master is the soonest winner. I am keeping Old Bill's words close to my heart as we go into this next week. Because it's not just old Shakespeare who assures us that gentleness will trump cruelty. It is the holy as well. One of the most recent lessons from the workbook for students in A Course in Miracles says this. Lesson 292, if you're playing at home. A happy outcome to all things is sure. A happy outcome to all things is sure. Only joy can be the final outcome found for everything. And there is another saying that goes, in the end, love wins. If love hasn't won, then it isn't the end. So no matter what happens in these coming days and months, there is one thing that is for certain, and Bill Shakespeare tells us that this is true. The gentle will always win over the cruel. This world will end in joy. This world will end in love and laughter and unity. However, as the Course says, it is up to us when this is reached. How long we let an alien will appear to be opposing the will of God. That alien will is, of course, fear and division and hatred and greed and tribalism and separation. The will of God is just one thing, and that is love, because it is the only thing that is real. And it is the only thing that helps us to remember that we are all one in this world of seeming separation. And we have all come here to learn one thing, that love is real, and we do that through forgiveness. And that helps us to see through this illusion and recognize our true divine self. So take heart, jubilance. No matter what happens in the coming days, a happy outcome is assured as long as it is our will to follow God's will and reject this alien will of separation. And when we do that, we will so thoroughly become the embodiment of the gentle gamesters of love that everyone we meet will be saying, "Oh yeah." As we do with every celebration here at Jubilee Circle, we begin by remembering the 4 directions, the 4 elements of fire and earth and water and air. And we call the 4 directions as a way to orient ourselves in this sacred time and space.
Let us turn and face the east. Holy One, we honor the gentle spirit of the East, the spirit that brings us new life every day. Renew us, Holy One, with your spirit as each new day begins. Remind us to watch the rising sun with awe, to begin every day in a state of gratitude, and to honor all creation that comes alive with your spirit. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the south. Holy One, we honor the gentle spirit of the south. The warm winds that blow from the south remind us to be warm to the world around us, to offer our warmth to any heart that has grown cold with despair or indifference. Remind us, Holy One, to always share the warmth of your spirit and to rely on the warmth of others around us when our own hearts and minds feel cold. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the west. Holy One, we honor the gentle spirit of the west. As the stars rise and the sun sets, give us the strength we need to lay our burdens down. Give us the wisdom we need to know when to let go of anything that keeps us from opening up to your spirit all around us. Help us to soar, Holy One, as free as your gentle spirit that soars throughout your creation. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the north. Holy One, we honor the gentle spirit of the north. When we get overheated in the struggle and challenges of life, your spirit comes to us like a refreshing, cool wind from the north. Refresh us, Holy One, with your spirit. Cool our overheated hearts and minds so that we may see the world clearly, so that we may be your instruments of peace and mercy in a warring and bloodthirsty world. Turn back toward the center. I invite you in this moment to gently honor not just the spirit in one another, but the spirit within yourself this morning. It is that spirit of gentleness that moves us to work for justice in this world. It is that spirit of gentleness that moves us to uplift the downtrodden and draw in those left on the margins of society. Let us draw our circle large, jubilants, so that it includes every spirit who finds its way here. Let us draw our Jubilee circle so large that even the world will take notice and say, "Oh yeah."
All right. Whether you're standing or sitting, remain in that way, and we're going to sing an opening song for you here. A little bit of Sheryl Crow this morning. Our wish for the world. That peace be upon us all. And if you would like to follow along, if you want the lyrics and the readings and the outline for how we will be proceeding this morning, you can go to jubileecircle.com or our Facebook page and download today's bulletin that will keep you up to date on what is coming through.
Thanksgiving.
Huh?
What is coming?
Oh, Thanksgiving is coming. Yes, it is. Absolutely. All right. And not, well, I was about to say something snide, but I will refrain. Not about you, but just about family and Thanksgiving and yeah, whatever.
We're all here.
We're all one. And peace be upon us. Oh, yeah. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Walking down the street of dreams, eating from the fruits of life, tipping out on the smallest things, trying to reach the light, trying to reach the light. Pick the key up off the floor, put the key into the lock, turn the lock, open up the door. Look at all you got, look at all you got. All the sinners and saints, all you preachers of faith, don't need to be afraid. If you know what I mean, let me hear you say, peace be upon us, peace be upon us, be upon us all. Peace be upon us, peace be upon us, be upon us all. If we speak in tongues of love, but we kill in the name of God, how can we profess to own His name and still be so lost, still be so lost? The world will All right, well, maybe seated or still standing or reclining, as many of you are probably doing this morning. Doing what?
Levitating.
Levitating, right. That was an uplifting song, so you could be levitating out there. That would be fabulous. All right, so welcome everybody to Jubilee Circle. We are so glad that you are here, and we do have a couple of folks who have wandered into the building this morning, so welcome to Lee and Fran. Thank you all for joining us. And all right, Jubilee Circle. What? Huh? What? Did somebody say something?
I just said, oh, Fran.
Oh, Fran. We love our Fran. Oh, yeah. All right, so Jubilee Circle, just a reminder of who we are. We are a community, a spiritual community here in Columbia, South Carolina, offering inspiration, affirmation, healing, and service to live abundantly, love wastefully, and awaken to our true divine self. We are a progressive and inclusive community affiliated with the Jubilee community up in Asheville, North Carolina. And we are influenced by Hebrew and Christian scriptures, and we give that a little metaphysical twist. We read it through the lens of A Course in Miracles, and we do ground ourselves in something else that's called creation spirituality, and that means that we are not beginning in that dark place of original sin. Instead, we begin in that bright place of original blessing, that place where God created this amazing infinite universe, the little blue boat we ride around upon, or in that amazing universe, all the creatures upon it, and finally, in that controversial, still discussed and debated whether it was a good idea or not, God created we amazing and beautiful and wonderful and creative and fascinating and infectious in so many ways. Weird, odd, strange, sometimes mean, sometimes greedy, sometimes just downright, I don't know. What? Recalcitrant. Yeah, that would be the word.
We really are.
That would be the word, yes. But God looked at all of that creation and didn't go, woo, wow, was I having a bad day. No, God looked at all of that creation, all of it that we call good and bad, and God said, oh, that is very, very good. And God continues to delight in all of creation and invites us to do so as well. Oh, yeah. A few announcements coming up next Sunday, November 8th. It'll be a different world, people. November 8th.
We don't know what.
We don't know what, but it's going to be different. So we're going to continue our I Make My Own Sunshine Via Negativa theme, and we're going to use some music from an artist named B. Miller, who I'd never heard of before, but it's a great song. And we're going to learn about the sunshine of defenselessness. It's going to be a really good post-election sort of thing. So join us for that. And again, the building is open, and we are all safely distanced and masked up out there, and it's all looking good. So please join us if you would like to get out of your house and out of your pajamas and put some pants on, people.
Can't really imagine that.
I know, right?
Just do something different.
Right. Do something different. Get out of your sweatpants. The ones you've been wearing since March. Yes, get out of those. Be nice. Your family would appreciate it.
They'll walk without you.
They'll walk without you, that's right. They'll just walk to the laundry all by itself. And we do have our Zoom call afterwards. We will all gather on Zoom and chat and have some fellowship and talk a little bit about the message and argue some theology. It'll be great. So is there anything else I'm missing? Anything that's supposed to be going on that I'm supposed to be talking about? I don't think so. All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Hear these wise and holy words from this wise and holy woman.
From the Jesus story, Matthew 11:28 through 30. Come to me, all of you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. From A Course in Miracles, Manual for Teachers. Harm is the outcome of judgment. It is the dishonest act that follows a dishonest thought. It's a verdict of guilt upon a brother and therefore on oneself. It is the end of peace and the denial of learning. It demonstrates the absence of God's curriculum and its replacement by insanity. No teacher of God but must learn, and fairly early in his training, that harmlessness completely obliterates his function from his awareness. It will make him confused, fearful, angry, and suspicious. It will make the Holy Spirit's lessons impossible to learn. Nor can God's teacher be heard at all except by those who realize that harm can actually achieve nothing. No gain can come from it. Therefore, God's teachers are wholly gentle. They need the strength of gentleness, for it is in this that the function of salvation becomes easy. To those who would do harm, it's impossible. To those who would harm has no meaning. It is merely natural. What choice? But this has meaning to the sane. Who chooses hell when he perceives a way to heaven? From the Tao Te Ching, chapter 76. People are born gentle and weak. At their death, they are hard and stiff. Green plants are tender and filled with sap. At their death, they are withered and dry. Therefore, the stiff and unbending is the disciple of death. The gentle and yielding is the disciple of life. Thus, an army without flexibility never wins a battle. A tree that is unbending is easily broken. The hard and strong will fall. The soft and weak will overcome.
These are wise and holy words. Thanks be to the holy. All creation is holy word. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Hallelujah. Let's stand and sing.
We all walk together, right?
Huh?
We all walk together, right?
Yep. Make mine sing.
Make mine sound-
Come over here. Join me over here, Tricia. Sorry. Nope. The ending song. All right. Here we go. Are we ready? 2, 3, 4.
Everything is wonderful, everything is great. Free as a bird singing outside my window pane. Got a fresh new start, it's a brand new day. And I got lots of love in little ways. It don't matter if it's raining, nothing can faze me. I make my own sunshine. And if you think you can break me, baby, you're crazy. I make my own sunshine. Ooh, 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 ooh. I make my own sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Hey, let's make a rainbow. Let's look for the pot of gold. I'll show you how to keep it nice and breezy. Even off the clouds start forming on my lovely day. There's nothing, no nothing that can stand in the way. 'Cause it don't matter if it's raining, nothing can faze me. I make my own sunshine. And if you think you can break me, baby, you're crazy. I make my own sunshine. Ooh, 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 ooh. I make my own sunshine. Ooh, 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 ooh. I make my own sunshine.
Oh, yeah. So good to have people dancing in the building again. That's so wonderful. I love it.
Jubilee doubles as a dance club.
That's right. All right. Y'all may be seated. All right. This morning, sometimes I get an idea in my head about a sermon, and I go, well, let's go looking for a song to, match the sermon. Couldn't find one. Not one that I really, really wanted to do. So I wrote one. Fine, I'll just write a song then. All right, so this is a song called Gentle, and it is actually based on the Tao Te Ching, chapter 76, the reading. And it is, the chorus kind of goes around that part that therefore the stiff and unbending is the disciple of death. The gentle and yielding is the disciple of life, which I think is something we all need to remember in these coming days and months. So this is it's called Gentle, and it goes kind of like this. 2, 3, 4. Sorry. We arrive as infants, gentle and soft, alive with possibilities and joy we're held aloft. Hearts ready for love, the pain of birth forgot. Our tender bodies swaddled, not a sin, not a spot. But age comes for us all, stiffening minds and bones. Life becomes a struggle, our hearts begin to close. Our bodies grow weary, we lose sight of our soul. We can wither on the vine or allow life to flow. This is how you know you're alive. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Can you bend in life's storms, not breaking as life transforms? Do you know how to be gentle? All through this Via Negativa theme of I Make My Own Sunshine, I have been using as my guide Section 4 of the Manual for Teachers in A Course in Miracles. This section is entitled, What are the Characteristics of God's Teachers? And there are 10 of them, and so far we have covered 4. Generosity, trust, honesty, and tolerance, and a bonus one that I made up myself. Kindness. I went back and looked. I'm like, that's not on the list. Kindness, it's there. Which may be the opposite side of the coin of today's topic of gentleness. When we look at the etymologies of both kindness and gentleness, we can see some similarities in these words. Kindness comes from the Old English word that means produce or increase. In the Middle Ages, that word kindness came to mean noble deeds or courtesy. Gentleness comes from the old French word that is meant to denote those who are noble or from high birth, meaning, of course, that such noble people would be courteous and chivalrous. Nobility is common to both kindness and gentle. However, what I think draws the distinction between these two words is the Latin root for gentleness, which means of the same clan or of the same family. Kindness, then, is what we do outwardly. It's noble. We want to be noble. We're showing courtesy to others. But it's gentleness that reminds us that ultimately we are all of the same clan. We are all one. When we embrace gentleness, along with its cousin of kindness, we affirm that there is no separation, that we are of one holy family, still united. Right now, even when it doesn't seem so, but still united in the mind of our Creator. Kindness, if it doesn't have gentleness at its core, can be easily corrupted. It can be used as a form of manipulation. The ego can twist this kind of kindness and use it as currency, a kind of quid pro quo, that if we're kind toward others, then they'll return the favor at some point. We'll gain something in the long run just by being kind. Gentleness, however, it doesn't have that kind of an agenda. In its purest form, it acts for the benefit of all without the thought of incurring a debt that needs to be repaid. Gentleness, of course, it gets a bad rap. We associate gentleness with being a doormat of sorts, meekly allowing others to just walk all over us on the way to their happily ever after. Gentleness is mocked as an enabling sort of emotion where we minimize ourselves and put the needs of others above ourselves. It is that yielding and bending quality of gentleness, however, that gives it its true strength. As old Lao Tzu points out in chapter 76 of the Tao, the stiff and unbending is the disciple of death, the gentle and yielding is the disciple of life. Thus, an army without flexibility never wins a battle. A tree that is unbending is easily broken. The hard and strong will fall. I want you to hear those words. The hard and strong will fall. The soft and weak will overcome. You see, the ego, it has us all mixed up about what our true reality is with a capital R. What the ego calls soft and weak, that really is the strongest part of all of us. The Tao also makes the point in another chapter that water is the softest thing in this universe, but it is water that carves through the hardest material on earth, forming such things as, the Grand Canyon, Mount Everest. Water. You can thank water for all of that. Our kindness can become brittle and calculating over time, but our divine quality of gentleness, it is incorruptible. Because when we understand the true power of gentleness, we understand our ultimate unity. Our gentleness, it is what allows us to be flexible, to keep our heart open to not just to those around us, but to the person it's often hardest to be gentle with, and that, of course, is ourselves. Gentleness, A Course in Miracles tells us, centers us in our unity because it never seeks its own gain, and it only sees ourselves and others as innocent, beloved children of God, all caught up in this bad dream of the ego. When we become gentle jubilants, we understand that all this world truly needs is a gentle nudge, a tender reminder of the love we were all created by, so we can awaken from this ego's nightmare of fear and division and hatred. Breathe deeply. 2, 3. When we believe that we know it all, our lives become rigid and we easily fall. Life can be fragile, so we must dare to remain open and willing to care. This is how you know you're alive. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Can you bend in life's storms, not breaking as life transforms? Do you know how to be gentle? The Baltic nation of Estonia has a well-established tradition of gathering together for massive song festivals, and these festivals date back to 1869. The festivals draw well over 100,000 spectators to hear choirs. Michael, you might want to, you're sitting down for this, good. The choirs are made up of 20 to 30,000 singers. Wow. Get those together for a rehearsal once in a while. And conduct it, yeah. In 1940, the Estonians found themselves under the rule of Soviet Russia. And at a 1947 singing festival, a composer put music to an old poem called My Country Is My Love. And that year, the mass of voices sang it as an act of defiance against their Soviet censors. After that year, the composers got a bit sneakier in their songs. They would write songs using Lenin's sayings on freedom, but they would give them a double meaning to express the citizens' desire for self-determination and self-government. What's known as the singing revolution developed from these massive festivals. It gave people a place not just to come together and sing, but to organize a resistance against the Russians. In 1988, 100,000 Estonians came together for 5 nights in a row, and they sang protest songs until the sunrise. Just 3 years later, the country achieved independence from Russia without a single drop of blood being shed. Jubilants, this is what it means to be gentle. It may appear to all the world that we are gentle folks, just coming together to sing some beloved songs, share some food and drink together, but in reality, this gentleness was reminding everyone who gathered that they were all of the same clan, all one, Even those Russians, they were all from the same clan, but they had forgotten that. And so they were using their power to oppress. They were using their power to miscreate. And the Estonians knew that power needed to be taken away. Just like you take a knife from a toddler before they fall over and hurt themselves or slash somebody else. They've got the power, and they don't know how to use it. And so this is the power of gentleness, to disarm those who believe they are strong. The ego thinks it's a weakness, so the ego ignores it, it scoffs at it, until it is gently overcome by the power of its nonviolent love. The Course in today's reading says, harm is the outcome of judgment. Harm is the outcome of judgment. When we are judging, when we are sitting in this present moment, hating those who we see as our oppressors, or blaming others for how they've made this world such a crappy place, we can only feel confusion. We can only feel fear and suspicion. And so this might be, right now, in this moment, this might be a really good time to check in as we head into next week. How are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? Are you confused? Are you fearful? Are you angry? Are you suspicious? Are you anxious? Well, my ego says, I don't blame you. Crap, I'm there too. Yeah. We perceive that this world has given us nothing but confusion and fear and anger and suspicion and anxiety. But as the Course tells us, as long as we are in these emotions, it will be impossible for us to learn the lesson of gentleness from the Holy Spirit. It is only when we become wholly gentle, as the Course puts it, that we become open to the miracle of a new perspective. Those Estonians who gathered at stadiums every year from 1947 to 1991, they did not want to be under Russian rule. They wanted to be a free society. They wanted to overthrow their oppressors and govern themselves. They wanted to end the censorship and oppression that they felt. They wanted their freedom, but they understood violence and harm achieve nothing. You just install another oppressive boss. But they chose instead the strength of gentleness. They did not immediately win their freedom. I want to underscore that. It didn't happen overnight. We're talking from the 1940s all the way into the 1990s. It did not happen overnight. But like soft water, over time, they wore down the inflexible, hardened hearts of their Russian overlords. As the Tao says, an army without flexibility never wins a battle. The brittle authoritarianism of the Soviets finally broke under all the weight of that gentle singing. It wasn't just the singing, of course, that won Estonia its independence. There were underground networks that led to rebellion. People put their lives on the line to defy the Soviet government. It wasn't all just singing, but it was one tool that the people used. But I would argue that it was the most powerful tool because it reminded the Estonians that they were all of one clan, that there was unity, but only if they depended upon one another to achieve it. As anyone who plays or even listens to music knows, it takes many voices joined together to create a gentle harmony of love that can overcome even our most overwhelming fears. Breathe deep. 1, 2, 3. When we believe that we know it all, our lives become rigid and we easily fall. Life can be fragile, so we must dare to remain open and willing to care. This is how you know you're alive. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Can you bend in life's storms, not breaking as life got one more piece of etymology to share with you. You're getting a lot of etymological knowledge today. The root of the Greek word for gentle is, according to New Testament scholar Wilhelmus Abrakel, say his name three. He got teased on the playground. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, old Wilhelmus, come on. Wilhelmus, yes. Wilhelmus. It's German, you got to spit it out. Wilhelmus, okay. Anyway, the root of the Greek word for gentle, according to old Willie, is a derivative of the word to transfer. Thus, he says, a gentle person is one who readily establishes contact with others and with whom others easily make contact in return. And this morning's Jesus story, it's an example of this kind of transfer or bridging activity that the divine seeks to embody within us. It's all about relationships, people. The Holy Spirit is our connection to our true divine self. It is the transfer point where we come to realize that we are not these bodies, that the world around us is one that was invented by the ego, and that fear and suspicion and anxiety and tribalism, that is not our reality. It is not our destiny. It is the Holy Spirit who shows us, through the life and words of Jesus, that we have accepted the wrong yoke in this world. The ego seeks, and has been doing it successfully for a very long time, it seeks to yoke us together in fear. It seeks to yoke us together in competition, in greed, in anger, in anxiety, in power grabbing. This is a heavy, heavy burden for us to bear. We are not built to withstand separation and live in fear. We are built to live in unity, to live in love as members of the same clan. Jesus invites us to take off this yoke, this heavy yoke of separation where we push and pull against one another and seek lasting happiness in this world, but we never find it. Instead, he says to take up his yoke. This is the yoke of unity, which is light, because we find a joy that is not dependent on what is happening in the world around us. Jesus is gentle because he is our transfer point. We can establish contact with him through his teachings, and he has already established contact with us because he's part of the divinity that we all possess. So at this point, you might want to hear me talk about 5 easy steps to becoming a gentle person, or better yet, one more way, just one way to become gentle. No, sorry. I found plenty of advice out there on the internet about how you improve your gentleness. But it's always about the outside in, With that approach, we go from the wrong angle. What can I get out here that makes me, No, Buddhist monk Pema Chodron reminds us gentleness is not something that we have to gain, but something that we could bring out, cultivate, and rediscover in ourselves. Spirituality is, and it will always be, a matter of subtraction instead of addition. To become gentle, we don't have to add anything to ourselves. We don't have to learn any new techniques. All we have to do is shed all of the things that block our ability to be and remain gentle. And that's going to be different. That's going to be different for each person. Since we all walk these different paths, we're here, we're learning lessons that are unique to us. But here's a general hint, though. Anything that leaves you feeling confused, anything that leaves you feeling fearful, or angry, or suspicious, or anxious, that is what is blocking your ability to be gentle. Those things all may be strengths in the eyes of the ego, but they are the Spirit's kryptonite. Over these past few days and weeks, make an admission here. I have watched both my blood pressure and my resting heart rate shoot up because of all of this stress. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few days. I have no idea. But the reason that I'm feeling all of that, I've not been gentle with myself. And so I had to step back and assess my situation. Here's what I discovered. I have completely jettisoned most of my spiritual practices over the past few months. I don't even do the daily course workbook lessons anymore. I wasn't chanting anymore. I wasn't taking time to reflect on what was going on in my own heart, in my own mind. Instead, my diet of spiritual health food had been replaced by social media junk food, cable news pundits, and the occasional tangle with someone who was wrong on the internet. They're everywhere you turn. So no wonder my stress, my anxiety is through the roof. I have forgotten who I truly am. I am a divine, innocent child of God who needs to move everything out of the way so I can live in my innate gentleness. And I'm working on that. And I invite you in this moment, take your own spiritual inventory. What practices are you maintaining to bring out, cultivate, and rediscover your own divine gentleness? I will tell you this, Jubilants. This world, what this old world needs right now, is an ever-growing community of gentle warriors, those who are willing to join their voices together to sing a song of freedom, to create a gentle harmony of love, of care and concern and compassion and peace. The ego will tell us loudly and insistently that gentleness is weakness and only violence is strength. And you're going to hear that a lot in the next few days and weeks. You're going to hear that over and over again, that violence, anger, fear, we have to fight that with that. That's not true. Don't you believe it? Here's the truth. The stiff and unbending is the disciple of death. The gentle and yielding is the disciple of life. Who, the Course asks, would choose the weakness that must come from harm in place of the unfailing, all-encompassing, and limitless strength of gentleness? Harm is weakness. Gentleness is our strength. If you want to know whether you are a disciple of death or a disciple of life in this moment, here's the question that you must answer. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Can you bend with life's storms? Can you not break as it transforms? Jubilants, we are called. We are called in this moment, maybe in this moment more than any other moment we have experienced. We are called to take on the yoke of unity, to remember that ultimately we are of one family. And it is only through our dedication to gently gathering that family together, no matter what label they have out there in the ego's world, this world will be saved. This world will be made whole. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged at the time it takes for the soft water of love to wear down the hard stone of fear. One day, jubilants, we will all be peering into the Grand Canyon of love that we have created. And all we will know to say in that moment is,
Oh, yeah.
2, 3. This is how you know you're alive. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Can you bend in life's storms, not breaking as life transforms? Do you know how to be gentle? Life's harmony, it wants to flow through our lives so we can show the strength that comes when we yield and our true divinity is revealed. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Can you bend in life's storms, now breaking as life transforms? This is how you know you're alive. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Can you bend in life's storms, now breaking? Do you know how to be gentle? Oh, yeah. All right. Oops. Oh, there it is. All right. During this prayer time, I invite you, if If you have a singing bowl at home, please ring it and sing it. If not, listen to this one. But now is the time when you can breathe deeply and contemplate what Spirit is saying to you in this moment. I've had my say. Now listen deeply to what speaks within. Closer than breath, you are the air, sweeter than life itself. You are here. I am a wanderer. Are my peace. I am a prisoner. You are released. Jigurudan, Jigurudan, Victory to the greatness in you. That's what Jai Gurudev means. So if you want to sing along with that, it's Jai Gurudev. We'll come back to that in a second. Here we go to the victory to the greatness in you is what it means. I am a pilgrim, the road so long. I am the singer, you are the song, held in the open sky, so far above. time when we are preparing to go to our Zoom room, and if you would like to join us on Zoom, yeah, right. Hold your horses, Keith. Keith's ready. There's another song. Woo! Yes, but before that, Jubilee Circle has been really fortunate over these past few months since March. We have been treading water. We are keeping our head a little bit above water. It's about here to our nose, but we're keeping ourselves going. And that has been because of the generosity of a lot of our members, and it also has been because a lot of the generosity of people who have never given before, of people who are just basically hearing about us now because we have a web and online presence that we didn't have before. And so we thank every single person who has given even 1 red cent to our ministry so we can continue, so we can maintain our building, so we can maintain the salaries that we pay for myself and Michael. And so we are grateful, and we ask, again, we come every week and ask that you continue to support us. As things are going in this pandemic, it may well be next year before we can come back into this building and gather again once we get this pandemic under control, once a vaccine is around, however it is that we come together and remember that we are one family and that we are in this together, and this is something that we have to defeat together, something that we have to bring under control together. And so we are grateful for those who have seen fit to keep this ministry afloat during this time, and we ask again that you continue to help us, to keep us in your prayers and in your thoughts, and also in your generosity. You can go online to jubileecircle.com, and you will find a place there where you can donate online, and we thank you in advance for all of your continuing generosity. Oh, yeah. All right, and so we are going to adjourn to our Zoom room where we will have some fellowship and some talk with folks. And we have a new song for our ending song, because apparently the last song was really hated so. By lots of people. So we got one that we're jazzing up for you. This is one Michael and I wrote together called We All Walk Together. We all walk together hand in hand, side by side.
We all walk together with
Hearts and
our
arms open wide. We make the way by walking, in love we will abide. Path is always open, no trouble is denied. So open up your heart, forget those tears you cried. We all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. We all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. Oh, yeah. All right, y'all, so we'll see you over there on the Zoom. And remember, what my Streckhart says, the only prayer we ever say our entire lives is, thank you, it will be enough. And so together we say, thank you. And we say,
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah. Go in peace.
Fran, you look well. You look well. You look good. Well, several people.
Julie made the